Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music. That's where we're from. That's where we're at right now. We're going to answer all y'all's questions.
All y'all's questions.
All up in here with all them questions. Back in the lesson room. We haven't done an Ask RNA in the lesson room in a long time.
I know, it's been a while.
What's that?
Dun, dun.
I don't like that. That's not funny. First question, Adam. Just Adam? Adam. I know wax potted pickups are common, but I recently pulled the humbuckers out of my Cort, just nosing around, and I found a thick block of wax on the back. Is that common? Every video photo I've seen of shows bare metal on the backs of humbuckers. Thanks. I don't think that's real common, Adam. I don't think I've actually ever seen that on a pickup I've ever opened up or pulled out of a guitar. So I'm not quite sure why they would do that, unless the pickups were kind of had issues and maybe they were trying to solve some squealing or something. Yeah. So I don't think on a Cort that's, you know, wax potted. I don't think that's what they mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't ever seen that in person myself. So anybody else has any suggestions why they might do that, leave that comment down below for Adam and maybe we can all answer his questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're really cute.
Thanks.
I like you.
Thanks.
Sorry, I got distracted. Next question, Mike Rohde. Great video. I have just for fun weekly jam at my house. We have a singer and guitar player who don't understand pitch and timing. The singer has been around for about 6 years, no former experience. Guitar guy and I have been jamming 38 years.
Nice.
And has yet to catch on. How do I get the point to them without causing hurt feelings? Thanks, hashtag ktma. Keeps music alive.
Yeah.
Well, that is a very good question.
Ooh, goodness. That's loaded.
Thoughts?
Honestly, I think just being forthright about it and saying, hey guys, you know, let's talk and just sharing the vision of the band or what your goals are as a band, and then just saying, hey, and you know, we want to step up our practice, we want to step up the way we do things because we would eventually like to gig or whatever your goal is, and say, so that might mean us taking some vocal lessons, you know, and I'm me take guitar lessons or whatever, so it's like as a band doing it. And then if your vocalist decides to take vocal lessons, then it could be on the vocal teachers or the vocal coaches' shoulders to tell them whether or not they're pitchy or whatever. So you can do it in that route, or honestly just be honest with them. I come across so many people who have been told that they can sing, and then when they come to me and I'm like, whoa, 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 that was pitchy. Whoa, 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 that was off, you know, you're sharp here, you're flat here, or no, 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 you're singing from the wrong part of your body, or whatever.
Yeah, your notes are all over the place. What note are you trying to sing?
They look at me like, what? You know, because so many people,
my grandma says I'm amazing,
who have played with them and have been around them have been like, bravo, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. And they honestly don't know. So I've really encouraged.
Living in a dream world, Neo.
Yes, they have taken the wrong pill.
They're living in the
you just be honest. I mean, honestly, you might lose that person, but if you say it with a genuine heart and not like, dude, you suck.
Yeah, don't say that.
You're all over the place. What's wrong with you? I mean, there's a way of putting it, just like how you would want to be told. That's how I say it. If you wouldn't want to hear it, don't say it. If you would think, I wouldn't mind hearing it, you know, this way, or put it this way, because some people can handle some pretty harsh criticism. If you wouldn't mind it being told to your grandchild or your child.
Or your wife.
Or your wife. Then if you can hear somebody say that to your wife or your children and be okay with it, then that's how you approach it. Because then you're going to be a little bit more kid gloves. You're going to be a little bit more empathetic and sympathetic towards the situation. So yeah, but be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's all you can do. Just say, yeah, that wasn't very good, or we might need to up our game and, you know, work on some pitch.
It kind of depends on the purpose of it. I was thinking like, well, it depends on what everybody's goals are. Now then, of course, I was rereading and said, it's a just for fun weekly jam.
Right.
Well, that's kind of, if it's like just for fun, it was, hey, I just want to show up, have a good time, forget about work for the week, forget about, you know, hassles I've had. This is just for fun.
Yeah.
If there's no aspirations of like maybe going out and playing a gig or doing a thing for public, if it's just to like kind of relax for the week, well, you know, it may not be a real high priority level for those guys. It may just be like, just screw it, I'm just having fun. I don't really care if it sounds good or not.
But if they're horrible singers, that's a little bit hard to have fun.
Yeah,
with
it's not fun
who's
for
all
you.
over the
It may have become not fun for you anymore when everybody's real iffy. Now you can always do this, and I've done this for a few people. You know, you lead with the question of like, can I offer some constructive criticism as a friend? And then you wait and see.
Right.
And then if they go, yeah,
sure,
of course, man. Then like, okay, well, I'm kind of noticing, you know, a little bit of a timing issue. Angela sneezes. You missed it.
Yeah.
But she sneezed. She's allergic to me, I'm afraid. Well, I was saying, you know, your timing's a little off here and there, so maybe we could work on our timing a little bit, you know, or, you know. That's always tough, though, because people also don't like unsolicited advice. Like, I had a friend who's a phenomenal guitar player. Like, he's amazing. He's like shred, you know, all over the place. Fantastic guy. But his YouTube videos, I'm like, I watch his YouTube videos, and nobody's watching them. And I'm like, he's got killer information, and he's like, knows what he's talking about when it comes to playing, and he's given some really awesome tips. But the quality of his actual videos, not the quality of the information, but the lighting was not very good, you know, and the resolution was like, so I was like, hey man, now we kind of, I mean, we're not best friends or anything, but we know each other. And I'm like, and I'm like, hey man, I just messaged him, I was like, hey, so I was checking out your YouTube. It's like, is it cool? Could I maybe offer you some video advice, like constructive criticism, constructive advice?
Notepad.
And I was like, I said, you know, I was like, I get it. Like people always offer unsolicited advice. Yeah. And that's kind of funky. So, but you know, so if not, it's cool, whatever. He's like, yeah, man, of course, no problem. I was like, hey, you might think about your lighting. Like I used to have a real problem. I said, I had a problem with my videos when I didn't have enough light, or my light placement was in a weird place, and I didn't know. I was like, it's hard to see, you know, your guitars, what you're doing. So if you could get some light and maybe put it at this part in front of you, or change it. And he's like, yeah, well, I have problems with the windows here and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. No, but yeah, it would make a big difference, I think. And he did. He did to his video. I was like, oh, that's much better. And I was like, awesome, man. He's like, yeah, no, I get it. Sometimes, you know, people want to offer you advice that you didn't ask for. So
right.
He says, but you did a really good job of that. I was like, well, I'm just offering it because I care. And I've been there where like my videos weren't that great. And over time, I learned some things, and you know, learning. Yes, absolutely, absolutely still learning. But you know, I wish someone would have mentioned that to me earlier. And then people did, like, hey, you might think about your lighting. I'm like, you know, I don't want to spend any money. But sometimes you can find there are some affordable solutions. But anyways, good luck with that. It can be touchy, but you know, if you approach it with, hey, can I throw out some advice? You know, can I throw out some constructive criticism? And then I'll be, like
I said, be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Be honest. Good luck, Mike. Hope it goes well. Next question, Todd Bogley. He said, so, where's the question? I'm going to skip to the question. There's a long comment about vocals and stuff. Oh, my question for both of you, maybe more Angela. In my spare time, when not gigging, I go to the local open mics, and even with some of the artists I perform with, they play their instruments tuned in E flat. One tunes E flat, then capo is the first fret. That's funny. He said LOL. Does E flat tuning really help a singer out with their range like they say it does, or is it just a myth? I can understand it being an ease on guitar, playing guitar and some of the other reasons, but I don't feel a half step in a key would really make that much of a difference. Thanks again. Hope all stays well. Y'all's way. Y'all's way. So is tuning the guitar down a half step really make a big difference for vocals?
No. If you're an experienced vocalist, a half step isn't going to make a difference. If you're an inexperienced vocalist who really doesn't know what range or pitch or scales are, then it might trick your brain into thinking that it does, because someone made a comment before that if the song is too high, I just sing really low, or I capo it to sing in between or something. A lot of people have this thing in their brain whenever you sing a high note, it's because what you're hearing isn't actually what is being delivered to you. So a lot of times, depending on what you hear, will depend on what comes out of your mouth. So when people hear a high note being played, sometimes they think it's really, really high, and so they overreach the note when it really isn't. And so a lot of time audibly, whenever they hear thing go like a half step this way or half step that way, something changes from the delivery of the note to where they hear it in their ear to their brain, then it makes it feel like a huge jump. But if you're trained, you know that it's not. And if you can sing here, there, you know, playing that one note, I think of a keyboard. If you're playing that, I mean, just that one step is not a big difference. It's not at all, because you have to think in an octave, you're singing in that range anyways. So it's not. So but even in from that first note, like say that, what is it? That E or F, G, depending on which way you're going, you think of that whole octave. Well, even if that just a half step up, there's still that whole family of notes that are going to be still in that same octave. So it really doesn't make a difference. Whoever says that doesn't really know their music, and this is an audible thing for them, and they might not be able to notice or hear it, but it isn't a big deal.
Yeah, that's like an old wives' tale, man. That's like,
yes,
now
it is.
Now, I think it has more to do with with guitar. It's like, yeah, the guitar sounds a little, maybe it sounds a little meaner. It's a little,
it has a different,
you know.
Yeah,
I think it has more to do with that.
Delivery, yeah.
Because I've played in enough bands with like, you know, I don't know how to word this without hurting people's feelings. I've played enough bands with like choir teachers, like that play the piano and sing. That's what they do all day. It's trained singers. It's like, we're like, oh, this song's a little high. We need to change the keys. We never change it by just a half step. We never go from like G to like, oh wait, well let's play this in F sharp. Yeah. It's always like, let's try this in F.
Right.
Okay. Or if we're in F, it's never like
a half step.
Yeah. Well, we'll go from F to E sometimes. But if it's like, oh, we're playing this in C, and like, oh, this is a little too low. Let's take it up to D. You know, we never go to like, you know, we just change the key to whatever key we need to for vocals. But part of that's, again, going back and knowing your range. What's the maximum top note you can hit comfortably, and what's the lowest note you can hit comfortably without sounding like crap because you're straining. Right.
And not using your diaphragm and all that jazz.
You know, so I don't think it really helps, because, you know, you might be taking the top note of the song down just one fret.
Even then.
But now you're also taking the lowest note of the song down
one fret.
So now the low note might be slightly out of your range. But you know, now I get it. Like some singers, like over time, like Ozzy. It's like, I mean, they're playing like stuff they used to do like in standard tuning, you know, 30 years ago. He's singing. They're tuned down like a whole step or 3 half steps, because you know his range at 60 years old isn't what it was when he was 20 or 70 or however old he is. So over time, you know, as you get older,
it might change.
But it's because your range is changing.
But even then, it goes also with how how vocally limber you are versus, because like Julie Andrews at 76 or however old she is now still has the vocal chops, or even what Barbara Streisand at 76 or something like that. They still have the vocal chops because they're constantly using it. Their flexibility is still there. Now, if you have somebody who's been drinking and smoking and potting and all kinds of stuff all the day, and has done a lot of damage to your vocal and throat and stuff like that, then yeah, you might have to sustain. But again, if you're able to sing, like if you go from middle C up to C or middle C down, I mean, just going that little bit it's not a big.
It's a big deal in your mind.
It is.
But it's really not a big deal mechanically with your voice.
Yeah. You have to think of it I have to think of it in keyboard terms. Like I have to think of it like in a piano terms. If you look at it on a keyboard, it makes more sense than for me on a guitar.
Yeah, guitar doesn't make sense laid out anyways.
Yeah. But if you see it on a keyboard and you actually see it, it's just like saying, I can read, A through W, but I can't read B through Z, and your letters. It's just, you're just adding a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not much.
Yeah, so I don't buy into that. We don't buy into that for vocals.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Todd. A lot of vocal questions this week. So
I love it.
That's great.
That's good.
Next question, Cam Demand. Hi, Cam Demand. Hey, RNA. Hope you're doing well. I've got 2 questions this week. 1, what is your take on fake or knocked off guitar brands? My wife and I went back and forth on the idea, and I like your take. 2, so college football has kicked off, and I'm curious as to which teams you like. For my wife, it's Oklahoma football. For myself, USC. So, all right. Fake or knocked off guitar brands. I'm not entirely sure the question on that. Are you talking about like you buy a guitar from China that says Gibson on the headstock, but it's a fake Gibson?
It is Gibson.
Gibson with a P, or
instead of Prada,
or like or it has Fender on the headstock, but it's not really a Fender. If you mean fake like that, or do you mean brands that
like sub brands of
sub brands? Well, like Cort. Now Cort technically manufactures a lot of guitars for other people, but they also have their own house brand, if you will, of the factory owned brands. That's like Guitar Center. Guitar Center carries a brand called Mitchell guitars. I had somebody bring one of the days. We got this one. It's a Mitchell. They bought it for their kid, and they're like, "What at a Guitar Center?" And like we're showing it to somebody. He's like, "I've never even heard of that." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, because it's the house brand for Guitar Center." It's like you go to Walmart and you buy Great Value ketchup. That's Walmart's brand, right? So there's Heinz. It's Heinz. Walmart doesn't own a ketchup factory. They just buy it from someone else and they put a different label on it, right? That's very common in the grocery industry. Very common in the guitar industry, actually. It's OEM manufacture. It's very common in a lot of industries. So, anyways. So I'm not sure, are you talking about that, the Gibson from China that's not really Gibson, or are you talking about other brands? So if it's about fake guitars, like I ordered a guitar that says PRS from somewhere else, and I'm like, you got it, and I think that's kind of silly, personally, because I'm like, because it's not real. You know it's fake. So what's the point of having it? I mean,
it's a Proda instead of a product.
If you want a Gibson, what you really want is you want a Gibson. You don't want another guitar that says Gibson on the headstock. And if it's to impress other people, like, check out my Gibson.
Right.
Then you care too much about what other people think, I think. So if it's that. Now if it's like brands that, copy other people's stuff, I don't know. Like Mitchell or Cort or any guitar company that's not Fender or Gibson, or because they kind of essentially, with electric guitars, anyways, they're the guys.
They started it.
Yeah. So almost everything out there is a derivative of a Fender or a Gibson guitar of some kind. So I'm not really sure about that, but I'm going to go with it's It says PRS on it, but it was made in Indonesia. Like, I mean, it says Paul Reed Smith. Like, it's a fake USA guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know. Unless, you know, if it's a great playing guitar, fine. But if you're kind of, you're breaking the law, actually.
It's copyright.
Copyright stuff. That's kind of, I'm not down with that too much, so. Ain't down with that. College football? Don't really care.
Yeah.
Don't
Not football fans.
Yeah. Now,
No.
I, like, if one of our alma maters are doing well, like TVCC.
Not even then.
Yeah. I don't, we've been to like 1 or 2 TVCC games.
No.
Yeah, we have.
I mean,
since
no, we're like, we're just
since college. We've been to
in
1 or 2.
20 years.
Yeah.
We've been to 2. In
Couple
the total
homecoming
20
games.
years, we've been to 2, and that's like recently.
Yeah.
But no, like I've said before, I'm a coach's daughter, and my dad worked for Mr. Murkerson, who owned the Dallas Cowboys.
Her dad worked for the guy who owned the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, and so we were footballed like all the
7
time.
ways from Sunday.
All the time. And then I was in the band, and then I was in dance, and I went to college and did dance, and we were on football fields and football fields and football fields, and you know, all the.
I went to a lot of college games when I was in college.
Yeah. And I didn't really understand it or care for it as a kid. It was just always in our life. And even my mom was like, the Cowboys are playing. Oh my gosh, aren't you excited? I'm like, no, I'm watching something else.
I'm watching a musical, Mom.
I'm watching a television show. Yeah, I don't. My kids aren't into it. They're not into sports. And even when we were like, hey, let's sit down and watch because the Longhorns are playing whomever they would play. And
yeah. Anyone they would
I don't
play.
know. And because I don't know what division or anything like that they're in. So they were sitting there and the boys were like,
they're like, I'm going to go play some video games.
why are they doing this?
What's the point of this?
Because they love to run and catch things and hit
other
each other and run into each other. I'm not bashing football or any sport. It's good. If you're good at it,
you love
go
it.
for it. If it's a
what
passion, you
it's your thing.
do it
Do your
with
thing.
all your heart. But yeah, even our boys are like,
Yeah.
we went to a football game and they're like,
Can we go?
why are we here? Let's go. I'm not entertained.
Aiden's like, so how much longer is this going to last?
Or he would say, so when are we going to the concession stand?
So that guy over there,
where are these nachos?
That guy has nachos. Where did the nachos come from?
So can anybody get a bag of popcorn or do what do we have to do to eat?
How do we get this popcorn?
Exactly, and he totally would have do that. So
There's that guy has a hot dog. There's hot dogs.
Where are they getting this food? That's all they care.
Yeah.
So anyway, so no, we wouldn't know. I like Oklahoma teams. I do. OU, OSU. You know, I do.
Look behind you.
I know. But I like root for Alabama's some teams in Alabama, and
Alabama's acceptable.
Alabama's acceptable. And I also root for Texas teams. I'm not a stick with it, you know.
You're not a diehard.
My blood, I bleed orange, you know, Longhorns fan, or an Aggie, or a Jack, or, you know, just, you know.
I casually, not really, but a little bit kind of care about Stephen F. Austin because that's where I finished, got my degree. But they're not. It's not like they're not a UT or an OU or a
no one
or
knows.
whatever.
No one knows.
Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks, y'all. Look it up right now.
Do yourself a favor.
They're mediocre at football. Sometimes they win.
A state college. And
they're all state colleges. No, we don't go to private school.
Good, they do great in their state, small.
Hey, they did really good.
Class state
like
college.
they beat the crap out of A&M once.
And you know, SFA is a great school.
Yeah.
Everybody, like I said, look up SFA. They're great.
I'm just saying, but they're like a Division II school. I don't even know. But if I had to pick,
you pick
like,
SFA.
Well, no. If someone held a gun to your head, it's like pick a favorite college team now or
Good
die.
Lord,
I'm
this
like, UT,
this went
Texas.
dark fast.
I'm just saying, if you had to, I would pick UT.
What was so funny is when we moved to Tulsa,
We lived in Oklahoma.
we lived in Oklahoma for like 2.5 years, 3 years. And when we first got there, we didn't realize how much Oklahoma hated UT until we went across the Red River. It was intense. In Tulsa especially.
I thought, Texans are serious about their Friday night lights. And they're like, we love us some football in Texas, right? Like,
yes.
I don't think anyone's denying that.
No, no one is.
Oklahoma people, they're serious about football.
Like, they're super surls.
Like their college, like OSU, OU. Oh man, like I used to work in sales. People would come in the store and we do the little dog and pony show, and I'm talking and I'm showing them the product. I'm like, hey, it's what it does, and and oh, where are you from? I'm from here. And where are you from? Like, I'm from Canton, Texas. And like, you're from Texas. Who's your favorite football team? And I was like, oh crap, I'm about to lose this sale. Oh no, where they would say, so are you a Longhorn or are you an Aggie?
Yeah,
it's a trick question because OU, like, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Texas teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a lumberjack, and they're like, what's a lumberjack? Stephen F. Austin State University, Nacogdoches, Texas. We play University of Tulsa because there was a university in Tulsa, Tulsa University. And they're like, okay, all right, that's fine, because it was like, SFA saved me. I sold so many products because I'm like, oh yeah, I said, well, OU's a great school, man. So is OSU. It's a good school.
Yeah. You always see those like,
I'd be like,
evil
y'all got some
Calvins.
good, y'all got some
Was
killer
it
football
Calvin?
teams here. Yeah, Calvin.
Oh, even evil Calvins like tinkling on Longhorns everywhere, like big old back of trucks, like everywhere. It was crazy.
Super serious. So I was like, I'm a lumberjack, and they're like, what's a lumberjack?
What?
I'm like, Stephen F. Austin State
really
University.
Great school
Axe
in
and Jacks.
Just look it up.
Yeah, and they're like, okay. So, anyways, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick UT. Like, I have a UT shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
Texas. Woo!
That's the same. Like, I wasn't going to bash Aggies, but yeah, we're
yeah, I'm not an
Longhorns.
Aggie. I'm a Longhorn fan.
We're Longhorns.
If UT is playing A&M, go UT.
Yeah.
Because their
I don't
fight
think
song.
they do anymore.
They don't do that?
No,
the
they're
University
not.
of Texas fight song was my high school fight song. So I'm like, come on. They got our high school foot song. Our fight song. That's my high school foot song. They stole that from us.
He said foot song again.
Foot song. I don't know. Foot and mouth.
I guess.
All right. There you go, Camden Man.
Let's
Great
move
question.
on before
Moving
we
on.
offend all of Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you like. Dallas Cowboys. Go Cowboys.
Yes.
Blaine Ludeman. Yo. LOL. How do you sing rock vocals? I've seen Chappers do a trick where he's quietly letting his vocal cords vibrating and up to being loud, a la Chris Cornell, all the way to John Davis and Corey Taylor. How can they still talk? Phil Anselmo says he had to get calluses and go up and down scales, etc. Peace be. Well, I wouldn't look to Phil for, vocal advice. I mean, he essentially destroyed his voice.
Yeah, your goal should not be calluses on your vocal cords.
Yeah, that's bad because you can't undo that, right?
No, you always sound like a old lady smoker from Vegas.
Yeah, and he can't.
Hey, honey, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he can't sing like he used
Yeah.
to. Like he can't sing those old Cowboys from Hell tunes, like and hit those notes like he used to. Like he was a.
No, though I know.
Back in the day, he used to be like a glam rock singer guy, but over the years of whiskey and heroin and smoking. It's kind of his voice is very gravelly. I mean, it works for what he does. It's like,
Yeah.
I like some Phil vocals. When it comes to like heavy stuff, that's about as heavy as I like it personally.
Yeah.
I don't like the Cookie Monster, stuff.
Yeah, you have to be very careful just off the hand trying to attempt screamo or like heavy metal sound to your voice without someone to watch and listen to what you're doing, because you can damage your vocal cords and your throat and the muscles and everything just badly.
Yeah.
So I, first always get a vocal coach, someone who is trained completely in that area, not necessarily classically trained, but just has a broad range of knowing how their vocal cords work, knowing how the diaphragm, everything works, and working from there. I don't train heavy metal rock singers, but some people have it, some people don't. Some people have the strength of their vocal cords more than others that can handle that and that kind of pressure. Some people don't. So be very careful.
Yeah.
I would say be very, very careful training like that, because some people do things like that and they have to, and they say that they're being trained and they say that they're doing it, but then they have to take vocal breaks for a long time. Adele was one of them. After her first album, she had to go and rest for 6 months.
Heal up
Because she was using improper technique.
Yeah, poor technique.
And then so she got a new vocal coach or something like that. She talked about it on Jimmy Kimmel or something. And then she was able to come back. But after her second album, she had to have throat surgery. Yeah. And they thought her career was over. And then she came out with Hello. The song Hello. And they were like, oh, wow, okay. But her voice wasn't the same. You can kind of tell from her second album to her third album that her voice changed a lot. So it's just, there's a lot of vocal exercises that you can do. Some of them are for classically trained, for operatic singers, in order to hit those notes safely, and just adding vibrato at the right time in order to get that kind of shaky register, in order to bounce your voice in a certain way. But it's all supported by the diaphragm and not rubbing or trying to from your throat too much.
There's a lot you can do wrong.
Damage.
Yeah. I was going to say the quick and easy short answer is go get the Zen of Screaming by Melissa Cross.
Melissa Cross, the Zen of Screaming.
She has 2 DVDs. I have both of them. They're great. But instead of me trying to explain or Angela trying to explain all that, she does it. And that's what she does. She knows her crapola.
Yeah.
And the first DVD is a lot more about singing in general and pitch and breathing and support and where to sing from and how the voice works. And she gets into a little bit of putting some heat on it at the end. The second DVD is a lot more about the whole guttural, screamy, how to do that heavy metal kind of stuff and not lose your voice.
Right. But again, it's hard to do it without somebody right there in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, doing it at
how do you
home.
Because how do you know? You think I did those exercises on that DVD, but it's not working. It's well, you might not have done them right.
Yeah. Because if you have a poor foundation, adding something like that on top of it can do some damage.
Yeah.
So getting a really good firm foundation on this is how you sing, this is where your voice comes from, this is where you should rely on your voice and not from here, just here. And then building up from there. But if you don't have a good foundation, you can cause damage.
Yeah. Check that out. It's a good resource. No, absolutely. If you don't have access to someone locally who teaches rock heavy heat vocals and knows what they're doing, it's a good place to start. Great question. Next question, Metallica 29. Hey guys, dig the spirit. What's up with the Cabronita behind you? Thanks. He's talking about the pink telly that was behind us in last week's video. Well, that is not a Fender, actually. It was a custom-built one for a friend of mine who has it for sale here at the shop. It was made by another friend of mine, Caleb Stroshine. Stroshine Guitars. Caleb works at another music store here in Texas where those guys, they are the guys. If you want repair work, you need a fret job, you want a neck that's broken in 5 places, put back together like it was brand new, those are the guys to go to. And Caleb works at that store, and kind of between being a tech there, while he's there, he builds guitars, parts caster type things and all that. So that is, it was custom built for a friend of mine. Caleb built it. He's got too many guitars. Sorry, that makes me laugh. Ken has too many guitars, and so he's selling it. But yeah, there you go. So it was a parts caster, custom built parts caster. Kind of a thing. But I was obviously made to be built like a Cabronita guitar from Fender. There you go. Maybe I should do a demo about it.
Maybe. You should.
I'm not really a telly guy, but you know.
Doesn't matter.
I should. People always ask
You're a
about
guitar
that.
guy.
I am a guitar guy. People ask about that guitar all the time. I should do a video about it. Thanks for the question. Metallica. Terry Starks with the next question. Okay, guys, we are in dire need of a mom and pop shop here in Big D, Dallas, Tejas. So bad it's scary. Nothing but Sam Ash and GC up in here. He didn't say up in here.
I know.
I said
like
that
that.
'cause I like it. So what's keeping you from making a huge life change and moving here and setting up a great shop? Keep the music alive. What's keeping us from moving to Dallas, Angela?
Dallas.
People. Too many people.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Dallas. Dallas is keeping us from moving to Dallas.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I know. Oh gosh.
I will
Even
throw
whenever I
this.
drive up there, it's like, you know.
Yeah. I don't want to live in the big city again. Necessarily. Not that Tulsa's a big
If
city.
it was like
but
on the outskirts, you know, like, even then.
like Rockwall?
Like
I like Rockwall.
Rowlett. Like Terrell.
Like, we're in Forney.
Well,
Home of the Forney
like
Jackrabbits.
Danielle lives in Aubrey,
Aubrey.
which is nice. It's a little outside of Denton. And
Denton.
Which, you know, is kind of
Home
like
of the North
right,
Texas Eagles.
like, you know, right up like up in there. That's nice because it's still kind of rural and kind of close, you know, you're right there off of. But I just, the actual Dallas part of it, or was it Las Colinas and yeah, all
Hurst, Euless, Bedford,
yeah, and
Arlington,
North Richland and
Arlington, home of Dimebag Darrell,
North Richardson,
home of
and
Pantera.
all that area is just so much. There's so much there, and it's so congested, and everything's just like.
Yeah. Where did Tim live before he moved to Longview? Carrollton.
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 Yes, up there
That's
by
right.
the colony. And
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So, Terry, great question, man. And I appreciate the fact that you want
thanks.
us in the big city.
It would be. I mean, I think we would grow really fast.
Oh, probably.
But we would be so stressed out.
Probably. Well, I'm sure the overhead, like the cost.
Yeah.
The cost of having a store there was probably ridiculous. Like out here, you know, my rent and my utilities here is real good.
Yeah, we have a sweet set.
I got a sweet deal with the building owner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine the overhead that would be going on there. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
I will tell you this though, I have people who come from Carrollton. People drive. I don't remember where Art lives exactly.
Like Rowlett.
Somewhere. I thought it was Carrollton-ish area. So I got folks who drive from Dallas like on a Saturday. They'll come out, hey man. I'm like, oh, Art's here. Hey dude, what's up? Like to leave, like to get out of the Metroplex. Like I'm gonna come out to this little shop in the middle of nowhere, East Texas, and like hang out and look at guitars and talk and you know, kind of get away from
There's
that
a lot
stuff.
of beautiful farmland between Dallas and here, even though we're just literally 55 minutes from Mesquite.
I mean, it's right down, jump on I-20 and
we're right down the road.
It's a quick shot down the road to come see us. But,
yeah. I mean, would I like a Taco Bueno here? Yes. Would I like a Target and a Starbucks and another option for groceries?
Besides Walmart?
Besides Walmart.
There's Brookshire's.
Yeah. But would I want to trade the traffic that would incur because of it? No. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because first Monday traffic is enough when we get all those Dallas folks here.
Sorry, Terry.
Once a month.
If we were going to pack up and move to the big city, we'd go to Denver. Broncos. I don't give a crap about the Broncos, by the way. Dallas Cowboys. Cowboy Nation. What, yeah. I don't know. I miss Tulsa. I mean, Tulsa is not a big city.
I do.
There's about 1 million people in the greater Tulsa area, like Jinx and Owasso and the surrounding Tulsa-ish. So, but it didn't feel like a big city.
It didn't. It felt like Tyler.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
There's people like, we have no idea what
are you talking about? Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas.
Google it.
Yes.
Paul's Googling it right
Google
now.
Google.
He's like, I never been to
like,
Tyler.
he's probably like.
He's probably checking. He's like,
in the middle of it.
There's 750,000 people in Tulsa, Ryan. It's not a million. I Googled it.
But yeah, Google Maps it. Just
Yeah.
Google Maps. But anyways, yeah, that's why. I was born in Dallas, Texas. I'm proud of Dallas, Texas.
You grew up in Dallas.
I did. Well,
Up to like how old?
half of my childhood was in Dallas.
Like 10.
But and I have a lot of family still there. Garland.
We're going Sunday to a birthday party. Happy birthday, Dominic.
Aubrey. Yeah.
It's not Dallas,
But no.
probably not gonna happen. But come
You
see
just
us.
need to move here.
Yeah, what's keeping you
There
from
you
moving out to the
go.
country, Terry?
Hey.
A lot of folks out here drive to Dallas for work, commute, that's a drive.
Insanity.
But
Nope.
it happens.
Yes.
Thanks for the question, Terry. Appreciate it, man. Final question, Roger Timmerman 77. Thanks for answering my question, kinda. LOL. I can't find the videos you was talking about. I commented with the video links,
Okay. Okay. Good.
so you should have seen.
Sure.
We only have like 300 Ask RNA videos.
Yeah, I know.
It's not really 300, it's like 200. But, there's a lot. I have one more question for you. If you only had $1,000 for both guitar and amp, what would you get or would you suggest to get? And it must be giggable. Well, it just so happens
Giggable.
I have $1,000 that I'm going to spend on a guitar and amp. Just kidding. I really don't. But if I did, I was waiting to see what you're going to do. It just so happens.
I was holding back a slap.
You're going to get your hand caught in some beard. That's what's going to happen. That's a great question, Roger. I have a feeling we've probably answered this before at some point, but I can't remember when. It's been a long time. First, I would probably shop used, honestly. If I'm talking about for me, I would probably check used stuff because you can get killer deals on used guitars. I would get me a Schecter. Sorry. Oh, look at this beautiful Schecter. That was about $1,000 brand new. And I think I paid under $600 for it.
Yeah, but he wants both for both guitar and
Yeah, I know.
amp.
But I have another Schecter that was also probably about $1,000 brand new. I think I paid $500. For like, neck through, locking tuners, super swanky. So you can get a lot of bang for your buck there. And then amp wise, I would go with something tube, and I'm kind of spoiled, but I used to play, and I still actually have it, a Jet City 20-watt head, which is great, and a 2x12 cab. I would get a good 2x12 cab, and again, for used prices, you can get, you can get something really good.
You can get anything you want.
Not anything, but you could get a decent 2x12. You could actually, sometimes you can get a really good 4x12 because people are like, they're just giving them away sometimes because they're a pain in the butt to carry. But I probably wouldn't.
It needs to be giggable.
Giggable. I would get a 2x12. Doesn't really matter what kind. And I would probably get a tube amp. If you can find the old Jet City stuff, those are great. No problems with those. An orange, tiny Terror, a dual Terror. So you're probably looking, you could probably, you could for $500. So you could get a pretty sick used Schecter for $500.
I feel like the price is right.
And you could get I think you could get a 2x12 and at least like an orange tube head. So I'd go, orange, Jet City. Yeah. I mean, but it depends what you mean by giggable. Like, are you gonna, most of the gigs I've ever played, majority of them, we mic'd everything, or we were running through a sound system.
Yeah.
So you could use a smaller amp. Now, if you're like, there's no sound system, well, there's got to be some kind of sound system because the singer's got to sing.
You gotta do
through
what
something.
you gotta do.
So you could use low water stuff. I use a Fender Super Champ. Like I play at church every week. You know, I use a 15-watt Fender Super Champ, and that's plenty. I've used bigger amps and more and pedal boards and like I got tired of carrying that crap, and I didn't need to. Like half the time now, my amp is still on like 1. And I'm like, Ryan, can you turn it down? I'm like, I really can't. I mean, I'm like, you can't. It's between 0, no sound, sound, too much sound, right? So you could do that. You're trying not to yawn, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's too late now. It's already passed.
I'm putting her to sleep with my talk about amps and guitars. And I know you're tired. You've been up since 5 a.m. It's 8 p.m. now at RNA Music on a Friday night. We're spending our Friday night with you guys instead of watching Texas football. So
We
yeah.
should go to a game. I mean, not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight. Not on Friday. Oh! My alarm. Yeah, I don't know if you want like specific, like buy this amp, buy this whatever, but you know, that would be my suggestion. For $1,000, you can get some really giggable stuff.
I like that word.
Giggable. Giga. All right, thanks for the question, Roger Timmerman. If you want like specific model numbers and stuff, you know, I'm sure everyone here, this is a great question. I'm sure everyone watching is going to leave their comment, and you should.
Yes, please.
You guys leave your comment.
It's the family.
Yeah, leave your comment for Roger, what you think. What do you think in general would be a great giggable thing for that? I know like somebody already commented, you should go watch these other videos because they do these rig rundowns all the time. I'm like, he probably knows that, like, but the question, he wanted to know my thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go watch a million videos where people talk about like
a bajillion.
Yeah, a bajillion.
A gigabillion.
A gigabajillion. Gigabajillion videos. But yeah, Schecter, get you an orange head and a 2x12 cap. Sometimes you can find even better deals than that. Although, I say a 2x12 and a head, but I'm actually kind of leaning more, I'm kind of getting back into combo amps for like gigging because it's just more portable. A really toit 1x12. Yeah. But no, we'll stick with what I said before. Too many options. So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up because I gotta go home and I don't know what I gotta do. Cook dinner? No, I gotta practice guitar. I do have to practice guitar. Dang it.
Yeah, we have band practice tomorrow.
We have student band practice tomorrow. I gotta work out a few things. Well, until then, if you guys have a comment for next week, a question for next week.
Or comment.
Or both.
But mostly questions.
Mostly questions. Leave it below, and we will try to answer it next week. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you.
And you need the music.
We need the music. We need to keep it alive for the next generation of musicians of all ages.
Of all ages.
This is what we do. Actually, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
We do that.
We continue the love on.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yes, it did, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? It did,
What'd you
didn't
say?
What? It did, didn't it? And we will see y'all next time. All right. See you guys later. It did, didn't it? Lighting!
Oh, that makes a big difference.